What if I told you there are 5 compliments so powerful, so rare, they don't just make her smile, they make her feel something deep. And if you use them right, she'll think of you long after you're gone. Most men give surface compliments. Pretty, cute, nice eyes. But women want to be seen, not scanned. Today you'll learn the 5 compliments that touch her mind, her heart, and her soul. Use them wisely. Comment, "I'm taking back control," if you're ready to hear this powerful compliments. Number 1. Her intelligence. Every man wants to feel chosen, but few understand why they are never remembered. And this starts with where their attention goes. Men notice her beauty because it's obvious. But the reality is, what's obvious is always forgettable. And what's rare is always valued. And intelligence in a woman is rare. Not because most women aren't smart, but because most men are too distracted by the surface to ever see it. And those who do see it often fear it, and those who fear it never connect with it. So it becomes a game of appearances, masks, and empty exchanges where two people are never truly seen by each other. And that's why the woman who has depth is often bored, because she's spent her whole life surrounded by men who are loud about her looks but silent about her mind. And it creates a silent ache in her, a yearning to be witnessed, not watched, to be mentally undressed, not physically chased. And this is where your power begins, because when you compliment her intelligence, you do something 99% of men are too lazy or intimidated to do. You challenge her ego while awakening her identity, and most people confuse those two, but they are not the same. The ego is what she shows to the world. The identity is what she hides. And when your words pierce the mask and reach what's real, she feels something she doesn't feel often: vulnerability. And that's not weakness, it's exposure. It's her realizing that you saw through the performance without attacking it, and you found something beautiful not in her perfection, but in her patterns of thought, in the way she solves problems, in how she processes conflict, in what she chooses to focus on when chaos surrounds her. And that kind of recognition is not flattery, it's power, it's memory, it's resonance, because even after you're gone, your words remain like an imprint. They echo in her mind because they weren't just noise, they were mirrors. They reflected something sacred, and that's what intelligence is. It's sacred, not because of IQ or vocabulary, but because of how it holds space, adapts, and protects its own clarity in a world full of confusion. And so many men fail not because they lack charm or looks, but because they speak to the wrong part of her. They speak to what the world already praises, and she's numb to it, she's tired of it, and when you tell her she's smart, she expects it to be another trick, another manipulation, another man trying to get close without actually seeing her. But when you show her that you notice the connections she makes, the insights she offers, the ideas she brings into conversations that others ignore, she pays attention, because for once, someone is paying attention to her not for validation, but for integration, because she's not just a moment of pleasure to you. She's a map of meaning, and she can feel when a man is drawn to her mental world, not just her body, and that's when her guard begins to lower. And when she starts to ask herself, what does he see that others don't? That's when you know you've stepped into a place most men never reach, and that's not accidental. It takes discipline to listen deeply, to stay present, to not interrupt her when she's building a thought, to not make it about you when she's sharing something precious. And that's where Stoicism comes in, not as silence or passivity, but as mastery over impulse, over insecurity, over the need to prove yourself, because most men interrupt intelligent women because they're intimidated, and they hide it behind jokes or mockery or indifference. But a Stoic man observes without reacting. He processes before speaking. He doesn't rush to impress, because he's already impressed by wisdom itself. And when you carry that energy, it's not about compliments, it's about alignment. It's about speaking a language she thought no one around her understood, And now you've become a part of her internal world. And once you're in her internal world, you can never be erased, not because you seduced her, but because you saw her. And most women have never been seen in that way. And the sad truth is, most men only see what benefits them. So when you show her that her intelligence is not only attractive, but useful, that it creates value in your life, that it teaches you something, that it helps you grow, she starts to associate her higher self with your presence, and that is the ultimate seduction. Not sexual, but spiritual, not transactional, but transformational, and it shifts the whole dynamic, because now she's not in control, her attraction is, and attraction is not a choice when it's built on truth, and truth is what you speak when you're not trying to win her, but understand her, and understanding a woman's intelligence is a doorway into her trust, and trust is rarer than love in today's world. And this is not about pandering or pretending to be impressed. It's about recognizing the exact moments where her brain lights up, where her thoughts flow, where her curiosity expands, and naming it gently but precisely, and telling her, the way you think, it changes how I think too. And now you're no longer competing with other men, because you've entered a realm beyond comparison. And this is where men must wake up. You're not losing to better-looking guys or richer guys. You're losing to the man who made her feel intellectually respected, and that is something money can't buy, looks can't fake, and charm can't sustain. And it begins with you slowing down, listening more, observing her not to exploit but to understand, and speaking only when your words can elevate, not entertain. And when you live like this, not just around women, but in every conversation, you become the man whose presence rewires people's self-perception, and that is influence, that is legacy. And if you're wondering how to start by watching more than you speak, by asking questions that have no agenda, by letting her finish thoughts without rushing to reply, and by building your own mind so strong that you can stand in the presence of brilliance without shrinking, without deflecting, without reacting. And when you do that, when you own your mind and use it to recognize hers, that's when everything changes. Not just in dating, but in life. Because intelligence is not a trick to unlock attraction. It's a compass to navigate meaning. And when your compliments point toward meaning, they become unforgettable. And when you become unforgettable, you no longer chase connection. You become the place where connection begins. And that's when everything changes, not just in dating, but in life. Because intelligence is not a trick to unlock attraction. It's a compass to navigate meaning. And when your compliments point toward meaning, they become unforgettable. And when you become unforgettable, you no longer chase connection. You become the place where connection begins. If you're ready to step into that version of yourself, the man who doesn't beg for attention but commands respect through clarity, presence, and wisdom, then the Stoic relationship blueprint is your next move. It's more than just a book. It's a blueprint packed with timeless principles that speak directly to the part of you that knows you're built for more depth, more peace, more self-respect. And now it's available as an audiobook, so you can absorb these truths while walking, working out, or driving, letting it rewire your mindset in moments you usually waste. Imagine carrying these principles with you always, knowing you can return to them anytime you need clarity, strength, or direction. It's linked in the comments. Number 2, her humor. You think humor is light-hearted, but in reality, it's one of the deepest forms of connection, and most men don't realize that a woman's laughter is more revealing than her words, because what she laughs at shows what she understands, what she values, what she finds absurd, and what she secretly fears. And yet most men waste this opportunity by either trying to impress her with jokes that mean nothing, or by ignoring the fact that the way she laughs, when she laughs, and what she finds funny are emotional gateways, and if you ever want to see the truth in a woman who guards herself with silence or sarcasm or charm, watch her when she laughs without trying to be seen, without posing, without performative energy, and ask yourself, what kind of world does she come from that she needs humor to cope, to hide, or to heal? And when you begin to see her humor as a protective mechanism instead of just entertainment, you stop being the entertainer and start being the observer. And this is where the dynamic flips, because now you're not chasing a laugh, you're discovering her through it. And that's where real connection begins, because she's tired of men who perform for her, who force jokes and memes hoping for approval, who confuse external validation with internal connection. And deep down, she's craving a man who understands that humor is sacred, not because it's fun, but because it's vulnerable. And the woman who laughs during pressure, who finds wit in darkness, who tells jokes when others break, that woman isn't just funny, she's resilient. And resilience wrapped in humor is a woman who's lived, who's endured, who's learned to dance through difficulty. And when you acknowledge that, when you tell her, you make serious things feel lighter, and not many people can do that, you're not complimenting her performance, you're acknowledging her power. And that hits differently, because most women who are naturally funny were never complimented for it. They were laughed at, or expected to be funny as a distraction, as a way to soften the environment, to entertain weak men who couldn't sit in silence. And now you come along not to feed off her energy, but to witness it, to appreciate the wisdom in her wit, the edge in her sarcasm, the softness in her laughter. And now you're not just another guy who wants to be liked. You're the one who sees her humor as an art form, a tool, a weapon, and a window. And that changes how she laughs around you, because she no longer needs to use it as armor. Now she can be playful without performance, and that's when she feels safe. Not because you coddled her, but because you recognized her emotional intelligence. And most men don't even know what emotional intelligence looks like, because they're too busy trying to impress with money, cars, bravado, and aesthetics. And the irony is, while men chase shallow displays of power, they ignore the real power in a woman's ability to control the emotional climate of a room with just her presence and her words. And if you're too insecure to admit that a woman's humor intimidates you, then you'll never deserve the woman whose mind can hold contradiction, whose humor can disarm ego, and whose presence makes heaviness feel lighter. And the sad truth is, most men aren't ignored because they're boring. They're ignored because they're disconnected from the emotional pulse of the moment. And humor is the pulse, it's the tempo, and a man who understands tempo understands timing, and timing is what makes a woman feel safe. Not because you controlled her, but because you synchronized with her, not in a submissive way, but in a present way, in a way that says, I see how you shift energies, and I respect it. And now your compliment isn't just words, it's a reflection of awareness. And women can sense that awareness instantly, because when you give a compliment that's real, grounded, not for effect, not for seduction, but as a byproduct of observation, she feels it in her gut. And now you're not just another guy hoping to get a smile. You become the man who understands that her humor is born from layers you may never fully see, and you respect that without needing to break it down. And now she doesn't need to use humor to entertain you. Now she can let you in. And when a woman lets you into the humor behind her resilience, she lets you into her life, her regrets, her fears, her strange thoughts at 3 a.m. And that's the part most men never reach, because they're stuck trying to be funny instead of understanding why she is. And this is where Stoicism comes in, not in a robotic sense of detachment, but in emotional self-governance, because to be present with a woman's humor without trying to control it or compete with it takes restraint, it takes confidence, it takes clarity, and that clarity creates trust. And when she trusts you with her real laughter, the ugly one, the loud one, the unfiltered one, that's when you've earned something money can't buy, real connection. And if you don't understand how rare that is, then you're still looking at women as targets, not people. And until you start appreciating her humor as a reflection of her lived experience, you will keep running into the same walls: disconnection, lack of attraction, and confusion. And the truth is, many men are attracted to beauty but bored by personality, and that boredom shows in your compliments, in your shallow responses, in your inability to stay in the moment without trying to dominate it. And until you break that habit, you'll keep being forgettable, because beauty is common, but emotional depth is not. And humor is the gateway to that depth, if you know how to recognize it. And recognition is not just about saying, "You're funny." It's about letting her know that her humor has an effect on you, that it shifted your mood, changed your perspective, lifted your weight. And when you say that, not in a sappy way, but in a calm, grounded tone, you give her a form of praise that she rarely gets. And now she sees you differently, not because you praised her, but because you understood her. And that's what she craves: understanding, not approval. And when you learn to see the mechanics of her humor, the timing, the restraint, the boldness, the sudden flips from serious to silly, you begin to admire her, not just desire her. And that admiration comes across in everything: your tone, your presence, your choices. And it makes you stand out in a sea of men who only notice what they want, not what's there. And if you want to be different, don't chase her laughs. Study them, understand what brings them, learn what it says about her worldview, and reflect that back to her, not with rehearsed lines, but with clarity. And when she sees that you get her, really get her, that's when she starts coming back, texting you first, thinking about you at random moments, because she remembers how you made her feel when she let her guard down, when she could laugh without performance. And that memory is what keeps her interest alive. Because you're no longer in the category of just another guy. You're now a trigger for her peace, her playfulness, her emotional safety. And men who become emotional safety for women don't get ghosted. They get remembered. And it all begins with how you respond to her humor. Not with ego, but with depth. Not with one-liners, but with presence. Not with flattery, but with truth. And when you live by that, when you see humor as a clue instead of a distraction, you unlock not just attraction, but a form of connection that transcends physicality. And in a world where everyone's talking, posting, pretending, the man who truly listens, even to laughter, is the man who wins. Number 3, her effort. You can tell everything you need to know about a man by how he responds to a woman's effort, not the obvious stuff like her looks or her compliments, but the effort she hides, the one she doesn't post about, the one she assumes no one sees. And this is where 99% of men completely miss the game, because they're focused on what they can get, not what's being given. And in that blindness, they lose their chance to connect to the part of her that actually matters. Because while everyone else is busy chasing her highlights, you become the man who notices her work, her discipline, her consistency. And this is not about overpraising her or putting her on a pedestal. It's about aligning with what's real, because in today's world where effort is mocked and shortcuts are worshipped, being someone who values effort is revolutionary. And when a woman feels like her unseen work is being acknowledged by a man who doesn't need her, who isn't trying to manipulate her, but simply recognizes her grit, that creates emotional gravity. And this is where most men fail, because they treat women's effort like a service. They only notice it when it directly benefits them. They don't pay attention to how she pushes herself, how she sacrifices, how she cleans up messes she didn't create, how she keeps giving even when she's empty. And then they wonder why women are cold, detached, emotionally unavailable. It's because no one's meeting her in that place. No one's holding space for her fatigue. No one's saying, "I see how hard you're trying." And when you say it, not to get anything but to witness her, it pierces through her emotional fatigue, and she doesn't forget that. because most of her life she's been told to give more, care more, love more. But rarely has anyone looked her in the eyes and said, "You've done enough." And if you're that man, if you recognize the invisible work, if you speak to the side of her that's tired but still shows up, you become the anchor she never knew she needed. And this isn't about being soft or submissive, it's about being accurate. It's about being present enough to notice when she's close to breaking, and knowing that sometimes the most attractive thing you can do isn't offer advice, it's offering stillness, non-judgmental presence, and respect for her effort. And most men don't have the patience for that. They want quick results, instant chemistry, instant validation. They don't understand that depth takes observation and effort reveals character, and a woman who works on herself is more valuable than 10 who only work on their appearance. But if you don't value that, if you don't see that, you'll chase women who impress you but drain you. You'll pick surface over substance and wonder why it always ends the same. And the truth is, effort is how people show what they value. And if a woman puts effort into her health, her habits, her communication, and her growth, she's showing you what matters to her. And if you don't recognize that, if you're still stuck on just beauty or convenience, then you'll never earn loyalty, because loyalty is a reward for discernment, not entitlement. And if you want to lead a woman, you first have to respect what she brings to the table when no one's watching, and that means slowing down enough to catch the details, to say, "I noticed how you handled that situation, that was impressive," and not as flattery, but as feedback. Because when women are around men who don't see their effort, they shut down, they stop giving, and they protect themselves with distance. And then you have the nerve to call her cold, when the truth is you were never warm, you were just watching for results instead of watching her. And this is where Stoic principles apply, not through emotionless indifference, but through intentional observation, by controlling your urges to speak, and instead developing the habit of seeing. Because the man who sees clearly speaks rarely, but his words land deeply. And when you learn to see her effort as an extension of her soul, as the part of her that refuses to quit when everything in her wants to, you begin to respect her beyond her appearance, and respect creates desire, not the lustful desire of wanting to have her, but the noble desire of wanting to stand beside her. And this is what separates men from boys. The ability to appreciate without possession, to witness without needing. And that appreciation is not weakness, it's strength, it's awareness, it's power in restraint. Because when you speak, it comes from knowing, not guessing. And that kind of man doesn't chase women. He attracts truth, and truth makes women feel safe, and safety makes women open up, and openness leads to intimacy. And that intimacy is the seed of loyalty, and that loyalty is earned by recognizing the very thing no one else sees, her effort. Number 4, her character. Character is the part of a woman that no camera can capture, no filter can fake, no follower count can inflate, and yet it's the one thing that determines whether she's a partner or a liability, whether she adds peace to your life or drama to your days. And most men never learn to look beyond beauty. They get seduced by aesthetics and end up trapped in situations where they're constantly walking on eggshells, dealing with manipulation, mood swings, double standards, all because they never took the time to study who she is when things don't go her way. And this is the test of character. What does she do when she loses, when she's criticized, when she's told no? And if you don't watch for that, if you don't observe how she reacts under pressure, then you're not dating her, you're dating your fantasy. And that's why so many men wake up one day asking, how did it get this bad? Because they were so desperate for attention, affection, or sex that they ignored the red flags, the subtle signs of entitlement, the moments where she lacked accountability, the way she blamed others for her problems or twisted facts to avoid responsibility. And all of that is character, not personality, not preference, character. And if you don't learn to value it above everything else, you will pay for it later, emotionally, mentally, financially. And the sad truth is, most modern men are too distracted to care. They think if she's hot enough, the rest will work itself out. But reality doesn't work that way, because beauty fades, lust dies. But character either builds a kingdom or burns it to the ground. And if you want peace, you need to build with someone whose character creates peace. And that means you need to start asking the hard questions. Does she keep her word when no one's watching? Does she gossip about her friends? Does she lie to get out of things? Does she manipulate people to feel powerful? Does she throw tantrums when she doesn't get her way? And if the answer is yes to any of those, no matter how attractive she is, you are looking at future chaos. And that chaos won't come all at once. It'll creep in slowly until your mind is foggy, your focus is gone, your drive is weak, and your peace is poisoned. And it all could have been avoided if you valued character over curves. And this is where Stoicism sharpens you. Not by making you cold, but by making you clear, by teaching you that what matters is not how she makes you feel in the moment, but how she shapes your life over time. And if she brings drama, deception, or dysfunction, she's not a partner, she's a distraction, and no amount of chemistry can justify building your life with someone who lacks emotional maturity. And if you ignore this truth, you will learn it the hard way, and that's the painful part. Many men think they can fix her, change her, inspire her to grow, but that's not leadership, that's delusion. And leadership begins with discernment, with the ability to say, I don't care how good she looks, if her character is weak, I'm out. And that kind of standard changes your entire life, because you stop wasting time, energy, and money on women who can't even manage their own emotions, and you begin to attract women who respect boundaries, who own their mistakes, who communicate honestly, who build instead of destroy. And those women are rare, but they exist, and they are only drawn to men who embody those same values, because character attracts character. And if you want loyalty, you need to build with someone who knows how to stand tall when things get hard, who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't weaponize emotion. And when you find that, when you see a woman who does what's right even when no one's looking, who tells the truth even when it costs her something, who protects your name in rooms you're not in, that's the kind of woman you build with, not the one who just looks good beside you, but the one who brings peace inside you. And that kind of woman will not tolerate weak leadership. She's not there to babysit your ego. She wants a man who's solid, clear, disciplined, and she'll test you to see if you're worthy. And if you are, you will have something most men only dream of, a relationship that actually improves your life, and that begins with valuing her character more than her curves. Number 5. Her passion. Passion is the energy that makes a woman unforgettable, not because of what she does, but because of how alive she becomes when she does it. And most men never experience this because they're too self-centered to pay attention. They see a woman get excited about something, and they either dismiss it, interrupt it, or make it about themselves. And in doing so, they kill the connection. Because a woman's passion is not just about her. It's a portal into who she is at her most real. And when a man listens to that with curiosity instead of judgment, with admiration instead of envy, he gains access to her soul. And this is rare, because most men are intimidated by a woman who's passionate about anything other than them. They want her to be obsessed with them but have no passions of her own, because deep down they're insecure. They don't know how to lead without control. They don't know how to support without feeling inferior. And that's why they mock her interests, zone out when she speaks, or act like her dreams are distractions. And that attitude kills more relationships than cheating ever could, because it creates a silent resentment in the woman. She starts to feel like her fire is too much, like she has to shrink to keep his attention, and eventually she'll either lose her passion or lose respect for him, and either way the connection dies. And this is the irony. Men chase women for their energy, then destroy the very thing that attracted them because they didn't know how to handle it. And this is where discipline and maturity come in, the kind that allows a man to see a woman's passion as a gift, not a threat, as something to admire, not manage. And when you do that, when you say, "The way your face lights up when you talk about that, it's powerful," you're giving her something few men ever give. Permission to be fully alive, and that makes you unforgettable, not because you said something poetic, but because you made space for her fire without needing to control it. And that's rare, and she feels it. And that feeling makes her associate you with the best parts of herself. And that association is what keeps her drawn to you, because you're no longer just a man in her life. You're the man who saw her when she was most alive, and didn't flinch, didn't compete, didn't change the subject. And if you want that kind of power, that kind of presence, then you have to become the kind of man who is so rooted in his own purpose that he can celebrate hers without feeling threatened, who can support her energy without needing to tame it. And when you do that, you no longer need to chase chemistry, because passion creates it for you. Most men will keep guessing, keep chasing, keep suffering, because society doesn't want them equipped with truth. It wants you confused, obedient, emotionally weak, begging for attention that leads nowhere. But you now know better. You've seen what happens when you finally speak to what's real in her, not her surface, but her soul. Now it's time to become the man who no longer fakes confidence, but lives with clarity, direction, and power. The Stoic relationship blueprint is the weapon they hope you never find, filled with timeless principles that cut through the noise and give you the edge you've been searching for. It's now in audiobook form, so you can soak in life-changing wisdom while you walk, jog, or just reclaim your peace. It's yours for life, and it's linked in the comments below. If you're ready to rise above the lies, comment, "I'm building clarity." Like this video, subscribe, and help another man find the truth before it's too late.